Okay, so this is example 5a. It's another exponential equation. And I'm going to compare it to the other two exponentials we've had before I solve. So this one, you'll notice it actually looks quite similar to 1a. The difference is on 1a we were able to get a common base, but if I look at this, there's no way to make the 6 and 5 the same. So the other problem that we solved, if you go down to 4a, was this one. And the difference between 4a and 5a, you'll notice on 5a that I've got exponents or x's, variables, in the exponent on both sides. Whereas on 4a, I could just roll the log and solve using my calculator because I only had the exponent on one side. If you have exponents on both sides, and you can't get a common base, your only option is to apply the logarithm to both sides. And then you need to use your log rules to finish solving. So in this case, you are allowed to do two things. You can either do log like log with a base of 10, or you can do natural log ln, which is the base of e. I tend to use natural log because it's writing only 2 letters instead of 3. It's just a small time saving tip because you will be writing it quite a bit. So here's what you do. Apply the log to both sides. So basically you just have natural log in front of each of your problems. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to use your property of logarithm. So if you recall, if you have an exponent, you can move it to the front of the logarithm. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 2x plus 4 and then natural log of 6. Same idea with this one. I'm going to move it to the front. So I have negative x plus 1, natural log of 5. Okay. From there, you're just going to expand so that you have all the parts. So in this case, what I'm going to do is basically have 2x ln 6 plus 4 ln, oh goodness, sorry, 6, that's an ln. On this side, I'm going to have negative x ln 5 plus 1 ln 5, so I'll just write ln 5. Now, our goal is to solve for x. So what we need to do is we need to get all the ones with x on one side and all the ones that don't have x on the other side. So in this case, this one has an x. I'm going to go ahead and move it over here. This one doesn't have an x. I'll go ahead and move it over here. So this one has x. It's going to stay here. So 2x ln 6. And then this, because it was negative here, it'll become positive x ln 5. On this side I have ln 5 and then plus, nope, not plus, sorry, minus, because I moved it to the other side, 4 ln 6. Okay. So over here, what you need to do is you need to factor out your x. Since both of these terms have an x, you can put the x to the front, and then everything else is left inside the brackets. So you still have 2 ln 6 plus ln 5 equals ln 5 minus 4 ln 6. And notice that x is being multiplied by this whole big thing. So the opposite of multiply is to divide. So just simply divide by it, and it'll cancel on this side, which is our goal, because then you'll just have x left. And of course, whatever you do on one side, you always have to do on the other. So on this side, you'll have 2 ln 6 plus ln 5. So what happens is, even though this looks really complicated, it's actually very nice. It has no variables, so that means you can do the whole thing in your calculator. So go ahead and get your calculator out. And make sure to make it a fraction. Make sure to close all the brackets as you need to. Let me see, for ln 6, close the brackets, and then I'm going to divide by 2 ln 6, close my brackets, plus 5, close the brackets, and I got negative 1.070. And again, like I was saying before, you can always plug that in to your original to double check it. So for example, I would do 6 and then to the power 2. I need brackets because of this calculator. Alright, 6 brackets 2 times negative 1.070 plus 4. And I get about 28 on the left side. And then on the right side, I've got 5 to the power negative, so it'll become positive 1.070 plus 1. And you might say, wait a minute, Miss Sarah, those aren't exactly the same. But you'll notice this one's 27.98, which is pretty close to 28. And basically what happens is that you have a loss when you round this. You have a slight loss, and because you're raising it to a power, even a small loss will make a bigger impact. But 28.0 and 27.98 are very, very close, so your answer, as long as you're confident in your work, is fine.